Okay, so first things first, here is our dilemma. We have created now a lookup using Vlookup, and it's pulling this product ID, and it populates some information for us. And that is great, in fact. But if we don't have a product ID there, then we get nothing, because what's going to probably happen, here, let me give you kind of a vision here, right? What if I go ahead and fill down that formula like so, and I've got the lines in there because it's filling the format too, so let me do fill without formatting. This is going to look pretty lame if I got all these NAs all up and down the page, all over my invoice, right? And, maybe somebody's going to come in and they're not going to buy 15 things. They're just going to buy 1 or 2 things. I want to be able to come in here, fill out the information, do the stuff that I want, and not have all this extra junk in here. If I fill these down, it's going to do the same thing. Tons of stuff here. And that's going to look pretty cheesy, not very professional. So, what we would like to do is only populate this with any kind of value if there is a non-zero value or a non-null value in the product ID. So how do we do that? With an if function. Here's our formula, and right before the VLOOKUP, we use if, opening parenthesis, and what is the test? The test is B7 less than or equal to double quotes right next to each other, just like that. And then there's our comma. So this test is saying if B7 is anything less than or greater than null, as in nothing, then the value of true, we're going to run the VLOOKUP function, go to the end of that, hit a comma again, and value if false. What do we want to happen here if that is not the case, if B7 is in fact null? Well, double quotes right next to each other. So you're telling Excel, if there's nothing there, then print nothing in this box as well. Closing parenthesis. So now we get totally blank. What that means is if now I go to product ID, EAB-1435, and go down, I get my value. There's the model number. But if it's 0, if it's empty, nothing, then I get nothing. Great, that's what I want. So let's go ahead and fill that down. And again, fill it without formatting. And now we got to do the same thing for our price here. If B7 is less than or equal to double quotes, head to the end, do double quotes for our false value. Good, now we get nothing. Now for total, same thing. Because all of this is contingent on the fact that I have typed something in B7, right? So less than or equal to nothing. Go ahead and calculate it for me if it is, and if it's not, put nothing there. I must have typed something wrong. What did I do here? Oh, whoops. I see it. Had a single quote there. Gotta have a double quote. Closes it off, right? Okay, good. Now we're set. So now we can take price, and we can copy that down without formatting. We can take total, and we can copy that down without formatting. So what I have done is I've put that formula. This is actually a fairly common thing, so I wanted to bring it up because a lot of people ask about, how do you make it display if there's something there, and then how do you make it not display anything if there's not anything there? And this is how you do it. So all of these cells now are populated with the formulas, but none of them are going to show anything unless there is a value in the corresponding column B. So now what we've got is, let's do EAB again, 1435. Great. And we've got QQW 889. Great. This is working fantastic. The only thing so far, and this is really not a big deal, but the only thing is there's no default quantity value. So by default, there's no total. The way that we can deal with it, again, this is not really a big deal because somebody could just come in there and easily, enter 1 for the quantity every single time. But I'm all about saving time. So here's what I'm going to do. If, let's say, by default, we want the value to be 1, but then obviously they can go in there and change it. All we've got to do is this. If B7 is less than or equal to, double quotes, then the value here is 1. If not, double quotes, don't put anything. And that's it. Okay. Now here's what's going to happen. I'm going to copy this down. And again, we'll do it without formatting. So by default, if we enter anything in here, WJK-934, it's going to populate the model number for us, the price, and then per chance, let's say somebody did want 2 of these, so we go over there. As soon as we type a quantity, it overrides it. So the formula is totally gone, and that's it. Okay, so no problem there. So I'll leave that set as of right now to our little formula. Let's save this. What we're going to do in the next video is make this a little bit more complex, as in, wouldn't it be kind of slick if I didn't have to look up these numbers, like I need a drop down? So we're going to integrate some of the other stuff that we've done before, and I think we'll go ahead and finish this off with the sub, tax, and total, which is nothing really new, but it'll round things off. And then I'll demonstrate, think about the possibilities here. I could have another tab, and I might even set this up when I stop here, but I could have another tab for customers, and I could have a drop down here for customer name, and it would populate all of that information for me as well. So it's kind of like a miniature database going on here, and I can do everything inside of Excel.